In the last chapter we have created the initial weights for the boots, and so far we have fixed the weight maps for the left side. So, our next task is to copy the just created weights from the left boot over to the right side. Here you actually have many possible options depending on how your mesh was constructed. But by far the easiest method is to use a mirror modifier, and just let Blender do the work for you. This method works best when your mesh is clearly separable into two independent mirror symmetric parts. And shoes are just an ideal example for this. So let's take a look into how this can work. First, go to Edit mode and get rid of the right boot. Now enter the modifier stack and add a new mirror modifier. Now the right shoe is back, but is it still weighted? Let's see and browse through the weight maps of the mesh. By the way, here is a little trick to help you organizing the vertex groups. You can sort the list alphabetically, but we also have a sort by bone hierarchy. This can make it easier to find and compare vertex groups. So, a direct comparison of the shoe weight maps is very promising. Obviously the weights have been mirrored. The weights on the right heel now look correct. So what about posing? Step to weight paint mode. And now check how the shoes move. Oh, no, this is not good. But hold on. Let's take a closer look at the modifier stack. Now you must know that modifiers are always applied from top to bottom. So, what do we have here? Let me disable the visibility of all modifiers. And now add them again in the order in which they get applied. First, we have an edge split modifier. This one is responsible to make the sharp edges near the heels. Then, we have the armature modifier, which is responsible for the animation. Then at last, we have the mirror modifier. So you obviously spotted the problem? When the armature modifier is applied, the right boot does not yet exist. So there is nothing on the right side to animate. Then the mirror modifier is applied after the pose has been applied, hence the right boot is always a copy of the posed left boot. And because of that they both move in synchronization when we animate the left bone. But they do not react at all when we animate the right bone. And now all we need to do, move the mirror modifier above the armature modifier, and all is well. Please note, when you later want to tweak the weight maps, then please never place weights on the mirrored boot, because then Blender gets confused and add weights to the wrong side of your mesh. So from now on, whenever you change the weights on the left boot, the weight is perfectly mirrored to the other side, and you can be happy. But there are also two caveats here. First, you have to ensure that the vertex group option is enabled in the modifier. And then you have to ensure that the mirrored vertex groups actually exist. Let me demonstrate this. I delete the mirror modifier again. And I also remove the vertex groups of the right shoe. Now I add the mirror modifier again and place it above the armature as before. And now the system fails. But we can fix this quickly. So, if a specific bone weight group does not yet exist, then it is sufficient to simply add a new vertex group and name it accordingly. it will be instantly recognized and automatically filled with the appropriate weights. However, while it is okay to create the 3 missing mirror groups for the shoes manually, this can become a tedious task when you consider to add the groups when your attachments use more than a few bones. Because of this, we have added a new tool in Avastar 1.5 revision 10. This tool can generate the missing mirror groups automatically. So let me delete the mirror groups again. Now open the Weight Tools panel and call the function Add Missing Mirror Groups. And now the mirror modifier sees the groups again, and generates the mirrored weights, and all is well again. However, sometimes we step into a situation where we cannot use the mirror modifier for whichever reason. Let's say, we have to use the boots as they are provided. So, let me revert to the initial situation, where we have modified the left side, and need to copy all of this over to the right side. So here is one way how you can get the weights mirrored to the other side without using a mirror modifier. Let's step to weight paint mode. Now select all bones on the side to which you want to copy the weights. Then in the Avastar vertical tab, locate the weight copy tools and select Mirror from opposite bone. Now here is another pitfall: sometimes the mirror copy does not seem to work properly. The reason for this is that Blender's mirror copy tools are extremely picky about the mesh topology. If the meshes are not exactly symmetric, then you can easily end up with your weights spread over the mesh in very unexpected ways. When this happens to you, then you can try to switch the tool options from vertex-based copy to topology-based copy. Then try the copy again. However, even topology-based copy can fail, especially when you work with low polygon meshes. And because of this, we have added a new Smart Copy tool to the Sparkles add-on. This tool does a shape-based copy. And the good news is, the shape-based copy tool will never fail to copy the weights from the opposite side, as long as the shapes of both sides are similar. So, this is one situation where Sparkles can become a nice little helper for speeding up your workflow. However, if you do not have Sparkles, then you always can fix this problem by making your meshes 100% symmetric. Okay, back to our boots. After we copied the weights over to the other side, let's test the weights for both sides again. And the result looks nice so far. So, we are now done with the initial weighting of the boots. Hence we are ready now to step into the next chapter, where we will finally convert the boots into a fitted mesh. Please take your time to play with the modifiers and with the weight mirror tools, and allow yourself to make experiments. Until then, I wish you a lot of fun with the mirror tools.